Alright guys, what about number 9? What's the biggest perfect square that goes into 486? 81? 486 divided by 81? Yes it is. Very good. 81. Alright, so guys, the whole point of doing that is so that you can pull out one of those numbers. 81 gets to come out as what number? 9. There you go. Alright, what about number 10? Yes, sir. Were you here yesterday? I found a piece of paper then, okay. Alright, what about 800? 20 is not a perfect square.
40.
40 is not a perfect square. 400, there you go. 400 is the perfect square.
Oh my gosh.
Now what does 400 get to come out as? The square root is 20. Very good. Very good. Alright, what about 98? What's the perfect square that goes into 98? 49 times 2. Alright, and so 49, what's the square root of 49? 7. Very good. Y'all okay? Man, y'all are quiet today. Goodness. Alright, what about 32? What's the perfect square that goes into 32? Bigger. 16. Very good. 16. Alright, and what's the square root of 16?
4.
4. Very good. Y'all okay? Any issues? Alright, we got a test tomorrow. Should have picked up the back part of our study guide on the table over there. And where are your study guides always located? On the back of your notes. I think it's like page 39 or something. Oh, way back there in the back. Okay, let's talk about your test tomorrow. Yeah, go get one. Alright, test tomorrow. There's a couple of things we got to talk about. So, look on the board up there about your learning targets. What is the very first thing you need to know how to do for your test tomorrow? Graphing piecewise functions, right? Do we need to go over any of these? No? Yeah? Alright. So, here we go. We have, what's our first function they give us? Negative 2x plus 1, right? Okay, so you've got to plug in an x value so that you can figure out where to start, okay? So what's the x value that it told you to plug in? 2. And what's the y value that you get when you plug in 2? What's negative 4 plus 1? Negative 3. Very good. Alright, so the whole point of that is to be able to get a starting point. So what's the x value that you're going to start at? Which one? Positive 2, right? That's your x value. What's the y value that you got? And at that point, does it get an open circle or a closed circle? Closed circle. So we got a positive 2, negative 3, closed circle. Y'all okay so far? Okay. So then I'm going to do my slope. What's the slope that it tells me? Just like always. Negative 2 over 1. Now put your pride in your pocket because most of you are visual learners. Quit trying to be doing this without steps because a lot of you are trying to do this without steps and you're changing the meaning and getting it wrong. So negative 2 tells you to do what? There you go. And positive 1? Right. What's the opposite? Now look at which way it wants you to go. Which way does it want you to go? Left. So which slope am I going to pick? That is what you do. You cannot change the meaning of the slope just because it tells you to go left, okay? All right, so we're going to go up 2 and left 1. Y'all okay with that? I promise, if you write this down, you will not get it wrong because most of you are visual learners, okay? Bless you. All right, what's your next function?
5x minus 4.
Uh-huh. And you've got to figure out where you have to start. So what's the x value that you're going to plug in? 2. So it'd be 5 times 2 minus 4. That's 10 minus 4, which is 6. Very good. All right, so the whole point of doing that is so you can figure out where to start. So what's your x value to start with? How much? 2. And your y value? Open circle or closed circle? Open. So we got a positive 2 on the x, positive 6 on the y, and then it's an open circle. All right, what about my slope? What's my slope on this one? 5 over 1. Uh-huh. There you go. Or?
Down and right.
Down and left.
Left.
All right, and so which way does it want you to go? To the right, so we're going to pick the up and right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's has to go 1 off. That's okay. 1 off the graph. Y'all okay? Any issues? Yes, sir.
Why did you do up and right on the bottom and then you put up and left on the top?
Because the slope here tells me to go down 2 or right 1.
Oh, okay.
Opposite is up and left. And it wanted you to go to the left. Are y'all okay? Alright, now along with graphing, what goes along with graphing? Domain and range. There you go. So we got to do those. Domain is from which way to which way? Left to right. So what is the domain on this one? All real numbers. Negative infinity to positive infinity, right? All right, range. What's the song? Starting from the bottom, right? Where's the bottom? Negative 3. Does negative 3 get a parentheses or a bracket? Why? Beautiful. Very nice. And then where do both of them go up to? Positive infinity. There you go. All right, now look on your learning targets. What's the next thing we need to know how to do? All right, so that's the very top part of your study guide. And number 3 right here, this got cut off. This should be x less than negative 2, by the way. All right, are there any of these that we need to go over? Any evaluating? No? Okay. Look down at the bottom on number 8. This is the only typo on your study guide. It should be right here. That's a negative 2. That's the only typo is right there. Make sure you fill that in, okay? All right. So what's my next learning target that I need to know how to do? All right. So that's down here on the bottom. Do we need to go over these? Can we do one of these together? Yeah? All right. Does this have any stipulations about a piece to take? Does it have x less than or x greater than 2 or anything like that? No. So these are not piecewise. You're going to graph them like normal. Your y-intercept is 3. Your slope is very good. Up 2 and right 3. And since it's not piecewise, we're going to go all the way in both directions. But on piecewise, we have open dots and closed dots. And on graphing inequalities, we have open lines and closed lines. So what kind do we have here? Open, which looks like a dotted line or a broken line, whatever you want to call it. Guys, if you draw the whole line and then you can just erase some pieces. Like if you mess up and you draw the whole line, just erase some pieces and make it look broken, okay? All right, now this does not say x. This says y less than. Where do your y's get smaller? As you go up or as you go down? You go down. There you go. Okay, what's the next learning target? All right. There were 3 parent functions that we talked about with this stuff. 6 altogether, but only 3 that'll be on your test. Constant? Very good. Can't spell. I'm just, oh, you can't see that. Oh, there we go. So on your test, there's going to be 3 graphs, and it's going to say, identify the parent functions. So what is the graph of a constant? What does it look like?
It just looks like a straight line.
Where?
Like vertically or horizontally.
Vertically or horizontally. Very good. Most of the time you're going to see it horizontally, though. But it could be vertically. There's no slope with it, right?
It's a straight line, but it has a slope.
Very good. So some kind of a diagonal straight line with a slope. And then what about absolute value?
It's a V.
It's a V. Could it be upside down?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Are y'all okay? Okay. All right, what's the next learning target? Tell us if we need to know how to do.
Describe graph
Transformations, yep. Okay, there were 3 vocab words that went with transformation. Dilated, yep. Dilation, yep.
Reflected.
Reflection, yep. What do we call that one? Started with a T.
Transformation.
Transformation is all 3 together. Translate. There you go. There we go. Okay, so I know I've put them together on your study guide, but on your test they're going to be separated. So on your test, it's going to say, describe each transformation. It won't have a graph. So describe, using your vocab words, what would be the description here?
It was dilated.
It was dilated.
Dilated 1/3,
1/3.
which means what?
It was stretched horizontally.
Very good. All right.
It was translated to the left.
Left, because when it's inside, you take the opposite sign, right? All right. What about this guy? What would you? Well, no. Let's do this guy right here. 13. 3 things on this one.
Reflected over the x-axis.
Okay. Did you hear how they said that? Reflected over the x-axis. Okay.
Move to the
And when I say move, what's my vocab
It
word?
was translated to the left 1.
Uh-huh.
And then it was translated down 3.
Down 2. You can just say translated once. So you can make it 1 sentence, Jared. You can say translated left 1 and down 2. You can make it 1 sentence, okay? Are y'all okay? All right, and then what's the very last thing that we have to know how to do for our test? We described them. What else do we have to do? We have to actually graph them, right? Okay, so let's look at this guy right here, 14. So what's my translation from the origin?
So you're going to go right 3.
Right 3
Up 1.
and up 1. That's my translation. All All right, this negative in the very front means it did what?
Reflected.
Reflected, okay? So that means instead of going out and up, I'm going to go out and down. And how much do I need to go out and how much do I need to go down?
Out, one, down, two. Or wait.
No, other way.
Down.
Rise over run.
Down one
Down,
and
one, right.
right.
There you go. When it's out front, it kind of acts like your slope. But since it's of absolute value, you have to do it on both sides so that it makes that nice, pretty V shape. Are y'all okay? Yes? No? Y'all are so quiet today. Goodness gracious. All right. So, do you see your partner? You're looking at your partner? All right. Find your partner. Let's slide our desks together and work with our partners. And the key for your study guide is over there on the table. Please do not remove it from the table, but you are welcome to get up as many times as you need to and go check your answers, okay?
Are the answers on your podcast?
Not yet. I haven't been able to post it yet, but I'm going to post it this afternoon. Yeah.